This guy. It's a friend's house, and I know I sound crazy right now. I bit my tongue really, really, really bad. And, yeah. It doesn't hurt as much anymore, but my tongue is still swollen. Anyhow. Remember I was moving that plant over, and I was talking about why is it smelling like mint, blah, 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 blah. Well, it bloomed, and I took a picture of it, and I got the name. It's called a calamint. Specifically a variety like white cloud. Appearance. It's a herbaceous perennial, with a dense mounding habit and small delicate white flowers that cover the plant from midsummer until frost. Fragrance. The herbaceous perennial with a dense mounding habit. The leaves are fragrant when crushed, offering a mint-like scent. Pollinator attraction. Calamint is known to attract a wide range of pollinators, including bees and butterflies. Growing conditions. It prefers well-drained soil and thrives in full sun, tolerates heat and drought. It is an excellent choice for edging, rock gardens, containers, or as ground cover. That's what it looked like when I got it. And one of the reasons why I'm on my way to a friend's house is I'm giving him 2 more tomato plants. But I noticed a few days ago, where I got that calamint from. And mind you, you saw me dig it all up. Look what came back. So I'm going to dig that up, and I'm giving that to friend. So I'm going to give that to him. Along with these 2 tomato plants. Boo got me a bike. I needed a fat tire bike because when you a big person and you on them little skinny tires, they always gonna look flat. No, you need a fat tire bike. So my baby here, his name is the Hound. Let me try to reposition my tongue. I don't sound crazy. His name is the Hound. Her name is Aria. You like what I did there? Friends, can we talk for a minute? I got a couple of things on my mind. One, see my son hasn't did my hair yet. He gonna do it today because I'm not, first day of school is coming up. I'm not walking up to no meet and greet, nothing, with the sides looking like this. Is bad enough the top looks like this, which brings me to my point. Hold on, look at Chip. I haven't talked about Chip in a minute. Look at Chip. I'm tired of this. I hadn't decided on whether or not I'm going to start to really fully start the locking journey. I've just been going to get the 2-strand twist. And I know they say you go through that ugly stage. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know what I want I will like. I need to learn. See, when I do my own 2-strand twist, it don't lay down. It don't look like this. I don't like it. And I'm really thinking about putting the cancer hair back into my head. I really am. I want my hair braided, or I want some length. Going through this makes me wish I didn't cut my hair. Like, I'll put in a picture of the length I had before I cut my hair off. Because it was a style that I wanted, and they didn't do what I wanted, and it's just been 3 years of just foolishness outside of me having braids. I need some words of encouragement, because I mean, before I decided not to use that braiding hair anymore, I had bought like 20 bags. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. With my hair like this, when I was younger, I had like really, really bad dandruff, big flaky dandruff, and I still have it, and you might see it in my videos every now and then. I might have it now. I don't know if it's the product that she's using. She's using a mousse in my hair, but the dandruff is bad. The dandruff is bad. I have scabs in my head like this size. I've been going through with like tea tree oil, scratching my scalp, and most of it is just on the edges. I feel like it pulled out some of my edges right there. I don't know, but that is also getting to me. So yeah, that was on my mind today. It's been on my mind. And lastly, anybody here watch The Gilded Age? Anybody here watch it? This video is probably gonna come out on Wednesday. The village is mowing today, of course. Look, there's one. No, I can't even say that, because if you haven't watched it yet by Wednesday, if I say this, oh my God, can you please I'll just edit it and make it quiet. If a particular person gets hooked on laudanum, I felt like they purposely showed them putting down that laudanum bottle. And if you know, back then, laudanum was basically opium, and it was addiction. If that particular person gets hooked on laudanum, but it was good. It was good. Y'all haven't watched it. Y'all don't watch Gilded Age. Watch it. Now, everybody always talks about Downton Abbey. I love Downton Abbey. I have the box set. Loved it. But for those that know, upstairs, downstairs. Okay? Am I showing my age? Maybe. But if you like Downton Abbey, if you liked Outlander, things like that, Gilded Age. Love it. Love it. Even me and Boo watch it together. Anywho, it's a beautiful day. Human as heck. Beautiful day. There's things I need to do. Things I've been procrastinating on. Things that I'm over. I'm gonna tell you what I'm over. Beans. With me expanding my garden out this year from just having the pots along my fence and doing more, there's things that I have come to realize. I'm sick of beans. And I think it's the way I planted them. The pole beans going up the wooden stick. If I do pole beans again, I'm going to have it trellis on a cattle panel or some type of fencing. I'm not doing the wooden stick. The one I have over here, the wooden stick actually broke. It was, the beans itself was reaching for my flowers right there, and then it pulled, and the wind came, broke. I was able to put it back in the dirt, but it's shorter and more manageable. But it's not manageable in keeping in all the vines and trying to go through there and find all the beans. It's just not manageable. I actually don't mind the bush beans, only because I do have them in a planter that's raised up. So if I was to do bush beans in the ground, probably not. But the way I have it, yeah. So next year I'm going to find different trellising. I am going to get one more planter, but it's going to be like one of those, not planter, but raised garden beds. It's going to be like the one I just showed that my beans are in. Or I'm going to extend out, let's see, extend out that pallet that I have over there and put down one more pallet right here. I don't know. But I did get rid of more tomato plants. I just gave them to friends. So that only leaves me with one more tomato plant to plant. And then he gave me 3 cucumber plants. They're cucumbers. They're cucumbers, for sure. Well, I shouldn't say that, right? But he gave me 3 cucumber plants to plant. I have somewhere to put them. The only problem is it's the trellising for me. My peas are starting to come in, my second round of peas, so I don't know if I want to take over that with the cucumber My winter squash is still holding on. Hopefully it can hang out through the fall. So I don't want to choke that out with cucumbers. My squash, my raised garden bed is still doing okay. One of the plants is kind of dying off, but it has new growth. Like, it has new growth, and I don't know. I'm gonna do some harvesting before I lose the shade and try to figure out what I'm gonna do with these cucumbers. My corn. I think it might be ready. And you need to get out of it though. I know that. Get out of my corn. This one I know is ready. The silks have turned and fallen off. Just so many ants in there. I feel like it's ready. Let's see. I know you're probably yelling at me like, Kim, cut it. Don't tear up your plant. So let's see. Let's see how this looks. Ants are all in here. They have the little ant babies. Y'all, this might be the best ear of corn. Some fertilization issues. Yeah, it didn't fertilize all the way. So the others I'm really going to leave on. So it wasn't ready yet, but it ain't bad. Okay. All right, that's the corn. So the others I'm definitely going to leave on there longer. I saw a melon. Oh, I see a few melons. Hold on. Let me get a picture of a good one. Yeah, some melons. See, I uncovered my blueberry bush. There wasn't any more blueberries in it, so I had got them all, but if it does, like I said, the birds can get it. Oh, and I still got a melon plant to plant too. But the tomatillos are growing, but they're not ready. I don't pick them until they're about to bust out of the shell. But soon, my lovely, soon. I just left my stalks of my sunflowers because my tomatillos seem to be using it like a support. And I feel like this one is trying to grow some stuff, but we'll see. And why I feel like this bean plant, first of all, stop trying to go over there. Are you trying to grow again? OMG, you are. That's crazy. So I guess she's not done. Yeah, you got a lot of new growth. Let me just trim your leaves. But here's the thing, beans. You may not be done, but I'm done with you. I sure in the hell is. Or sure in the hell am. Problem, because my melon, my other melon plant, look, it's all up in here. Tying on the stuff. I need to plant you. Maybe I'll just put you in there. Oh! See, when you can't see stuff, look at it. He got one growing right there looking like some testicles. All right, this is what I'm gonna do, friends. I'm done with this bean bush. And the one thing I am gonna say to it, thank you for your service and for the food that you have provided for me. Well, mostly for me. My family doesn't eat beans. But it's time for me to let you go. And she still has quite a bit of harvest. So I'm gonna have to pluck them off. But I see no more new blooms. So touch it. And you wouldn't believe it. It was nasturtiums in here, just didn't have room to grow the way they could or should. But I am gonna harvest all these beans on her before she goes to her next stage of life and get turned into compost. I am gonna leave the roots in there. Gonna move Miss Nasturtium this way. And I'm going to put my last tomato plant in here. And let me get some fertilizer. And I know what you're thinking, girl, it's August. Technically, it's August 11th. You just now planting a tomato plant? You crazy. You're a crazy girl. Yes, I am crazy. I'm a little wacky. Give me more dirt. Now I'm just adding some Malorganet. I do need to get me some bone meal and whatnot. But I'll get that a little bit later. Planting a tomato plant. Yes. Yes, I am. All right. Put you right in there with the soil. You are ready. And all right. And I'll come back and water you in a minute. And next up is going to be the cucumbers. Now, I do, from my, what is this, 2 videos ago, I edited it out because I didn't know if I was going to keep it. But in those 2 containers, when I harvested my potatoes, and it was a terrible harvest, I did have more sweet potatoes. I put them back in there. I don't have enough. That was the beginning of August, maybe end of July. So August, September, October. Hopefully it stays warm enough for me to get 90 days. August, September, October. I doubt it. But I said, let's see what happens. I'm in zone 5B, 6A-ish. Our weather in the Chicagoland area is being hit and miss. So, this is my first year with this extended garden. I did have my community garden, but everything that was in it until the fall. I think November 14th is when we had to clear our community garden. So whatever was there was usually just there. But yeah, so tomato plant planted. Now before I move ahead to planting this cucumber and or melon, my winter squash is growing all out the pot, right? I had some here. Thought I stepped over it. Did not, in fact, step over it. Stepped on it. And I actually ripped the vine. I split it right here. And it was a hole, but it seems like it fused back together. And I was a little sad because it has a squash growing on it. But it seems like it fused back together. Now, I have a vine that's dying. But it's only, let's see. I back up. Hold on, look at that spider, y'all. Can I get him? He just be there chilling. I leave him alone. You say you chilling. I ain't going over there. You ain't got to worry about me. I'm gonna put you right here for right now. Well, we're out the way at least. But I can't see where it begins and where it ends. Because I want to cut it off because it's not healthy. And I think, yeah, it's just sickly from this until about right here. And everything else is great. It's got blooms on it. It's growing over the arch. So I'm just going to keep the limbs or the leaves trimmed that look bad. I see little buds on it, so like where I'm trimming, there's little buds on it, so I don't know what to do. You see, I think it's a collard green plant right there that's getting eaten up. And I figure, you know what? You're just going to be my trap crop. I'm not going to harvest from you. You're keeping the other stuff away from this plant, so I'm not even going to trip. But yeah, this goes all the way up here. I don't know if you can see it, but that one that looks sickly, it actually is vining all the way up there, and those are healthy. So this is another one that's growing, and it's got, you can see it, a squash on it too. I'm going to try to bring it over here because we do mow, and I don't want my son running over it. So it's good. I hate that my phone is not letting me zoom out so I can get the whole shot. But anyway, as far as the melons are concerned, I'm going to plant them in here with the peas. Hopefully I can keep the peas to one side and the melon on another. It's just one vine. We'll see. Otherwise, I'm going to be digging in there for peas. You see the pea plant. This was self-seeded, by the way. The seed that I did put in there, there's nowhere to be found. It kind of doesn't need more soil, and I still got an onion in there. I wonder if I should harvest this onion. It's pretty big. Yeah, I'll just pull it out. My onion. Let's see, were you trying to grow any melons? I don't see anything. Look at that root system. Wow, the flowers just fell off. That's great. I love how this plant, even though there's no melon, I love how it smells like melons. Up next are those cucumbers. Now, I was gonna put them in this pot because that tomatillo plant is giving me nothing but issues because it's so top heavy, and but that's the con. It's top heavy. It has a bunch of blooms that are really not being pollinated. Why, I don't know. This one, like I have said in many other videos, was planted first. This was planted before my other one. Well, when I came over here, it's got some misshapen. So I was going to keep it just for the pollinator's sake, because the bees, the bees be on it. I can't even lie. They be on this plant. And since a lot of my flowers that I planted never really bloomed for whatever reason, I was like, yeah, keep the pollinators. But I do need to find something to keep this up. So let me find a stick or something. Well, I have plenty of sticks, but I don't want to go into my shade tent because right now it's the spiderweb's nest of doom. So let me find a stick. If this would keep it. I thought about putting the cucumbers in here because y'all, I harvested the watermelon in there. I harvested the watermelon that was growing in there, and I harvested maybe about 2 weeks too early. It wasn't ready. The inside still tasted sweet, but it was green. I did cut it out because I can, blend it, turn it into a juice. But I thought about taking out this watermelon plant because it had other watermelons growing on it, but when that one watermelon plant started getting, or fruit started getting really big, it seemed like all the others disappeared. And now my pumpkin is taking over. They're kind of using it as a trellis. And it's got a pumpkin. And I'm not growing this for it could be ready for Halloween. I don't pull out real pumpkins for Halloween because the squirrels just eat them and I'm not in the mood. I have fake pumpkins for that. But, so I'm not concerned about it being ready for Halloween or for the fall. Whenever it's ready, it's ready. And then, let's see, if we go down, other watermelon plants I planted. You see, these two didn't do anything, but this one's growing. But anyway, if I put the cucumbers in there, that's too much going on. Too much. Is this planter right here that's got the white basket in it. And I'm not going to trellis it. I'm just going to let it grow. I don't know. Maybe I'll trellis it to keep it off of the peppers and stuff. I don't know. Y'all, let me sit here and think. I'm going to pause you. After staring into the void for about 15 minutes, I decided that the pot that I'm going to use for the cucumbers, they need to be moved. Because it's not going to be enough space with the peppers and the beans that I'm not going to pull yet because they still look happy and healthy. It's not enough space. Now, there's an area alongside my palette with my green stalk that either I do it this year and set it up for next year, or I set up next year. I am going to get, like I said earlier, a circular raised garden bed and put it in this spot. So in the meantime, I'm going to still a paver, put it in that spot, and put a whiskey barrel pot there and plant my cucumbers in that pot. Because it doesn't matter about the grass or anything because I am eventually going to put something there, even if I just leave that there. Either way, something's going to be here. The only thing that sucks is that like right here where it's going to be, it is a clear opening when Xavier mows the lawn, but it is what it is. So let's get this set. All right, here's the spot. It's going to be on an angle, but see, maybe if I So of course my main phone went dead. So I'm using my other phone right now, which doesn't have a lot of memory. But I went ahead, I planted the cucumbers. I did harvest the one onion that was in it because it just plopped right out, you know. It was fun. And I watered in everything that I did. And now I am going to harvest some of my tomatoes and strawberries. I've been eating strawberries almost every day, but I know with the squirrels around here, if I leave these black cherry tomatoes on any longer, these tomatoes on any longer, these strawberries on any longer, they won't be here for much longer. So I'm going to finish up. I'm going to clean up. I still have to get the beans off of that bush and put it in the compost. I'm wrapping it up because I'm losing the sun. So thank you friends for tuning in. Until next time, bye.